Hello, Tim. Hello, Melanie.
Hello.
Hey, Robert.
Hi there. Trying to stop being the town of Nahant here. Um,
Um, by the way, is this a completely open meeting or is there a any sort of limitation to allow people to get in?
as far as I know, it's a completely open meeting.
One of the planning committee meetings got, disrupted by somebody uh joining in and um doing inappropriate things to disrupt the meeting. And so I believe in subsequent meetings, they used like the waiting room, and each person would actually have to be let in as opposed to just anybody
Okay.
could join.
Yeah, because I had to let you and Melanie in. I
Oh,
was
good.
surprised to see that, but
That's why.
I mean, unless it's obviously a goofy thing, I'm going to let people in.
Right.
And are you okay giving a synopsis of 3A and where we are and what's happened?
Sure. I mean,
Great.
I had sent you what I would share with the committee.
Nope, that's
I
perfect.
don't, yeah, if you want to share that, I'll read it basically.
Oh, that means I have to go back in my email and
I can resend it to you.
three people entered the waiting room. Okay. Admit all. There we go. All right. So we should have Allison and Deborah and uh, Alex, right?
Hi, I'm here. I'm Alex.
Hi,
Sorry, I'm
Alex. How are you?
good. I'm on my phone, so I don't know if it's. I might not have me signed in.
No, you're good.
Bob, I just re-forwarded it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
And hopefully Allison can give us an update on anything that happened relevant at the Board of Selectmen's meeting last night.
Yep. Okay. All right. So when you're ready, I can pop this up and people can follow along.
Bob, congratulations.
On what?
I was told that you've retired.
I did, but not very successfully.
I was told that as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give this another second or two here. Others that said they would and could join, but have not.
So, Bob, this is Dana. Congratulations on your retirement. What is the over and under when you're going to unretire?
Well, I don't know. It may have been the world's shortest live retirement. I'm already doing consulting work.
Yeah, I tried that once. Retire. I took an early retirement, and then found out after the pandemic was over that I had to do a little something, find some kind of work.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Dana, what are
Good
you
luck.
doing now?
Uh, I'm I'm a veteran service officer for the American Legion, and I help veterans with their claims with the Veterans Affairs Administration. So
Oh my
it's a
gosh.
big bureaucracy and it's complex. And I go to hearings, a lot of video hearings with VA judges and so forth, trying to make the case for people with their benefits and disability compensation that they're looking for. And that's what I've been doing. It's a part-time job.
Thank you for doing that. It's important work. I'm
It
saying
is.
that as the
It is.
wife of a veteran, but also just period in terms of valuing people's service and
Yeah.
then they should be able to get the benefits of that service. And it's hard sometimes.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of people, have had trouble getting their claims through the VA. So I'll see people that have appealed things multiple times, and sometimes because it's a part-time job and there's only two of us, the entire state of Massachusetts to do this for the American Legion. So
Only two
you
of
know,
you?
Oh
well,
my
just
God.
for the American Legion, there are other organizations that help veterans, like the town veterans agent does it. There's somebody in the capital, Boston, that does it, and every town has its own veterans agent. So that's usually the way people do it.
It's important work. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Barbara.
All right.
Anyone know what I can do to get myself into focus? Not that it's a good thing for me to be in focus, but why am I so cloudy, so hazy?
Did you try wiping your camera?
Well, they said that. Um,
I'm wondering whether this is a practical question or some sort of a philosophical question.
no, it's practical, but it's a stupid question because I think it's just great to be blurry. But just a second, I'm going to try with the camera. Well, I think it's telling me something.
I don't know. You could turn off your camera and then it wouldn't bug you anymore.
But then I don't feel as if I'm being very sociable.
Oh, so are you telling me I should turn on my camera?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Deborah, if you want, in solidarity, I can switch to my laptop that has a blurry camera too.
No,
Oh,
that's okay. I think your face is perfectly, what's the word? Welcome to, I just look a little like a ghost, but that's appropriate for the season, so
there you go. And you're dressed in orange.
I am. By the way, Bob, that ghost of yours is looking very spiffy.
Oh, yes, isn't it?
Very. He's streamlined. He's chic.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's very minimalist, a very minimalist ghost.
Right.
So, Bob, do we have any new members?
We do, but first let's call this thing to order. So it is 6:38, and we do have a quorum of the Finance Committee. So present are Bob Vanderslice, Barbara Beatty, Deborah Warren, Tim Bell, Alex Kent. Josie, I'm going to come back to you first, but Dana is here and Melanie is here as well. Allison, the town accountant, and I believe acting town manager is your other title, something like that.
Yep.
Josie, have you been sworn in?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
Okay. The clerk had no record of you being sworn in.
I thought we did it a few weeks back, but
Okay. All right. Then we are also joined by Josie Reese. And the first item of business is welcoming new members, which are Alex and Josie. And I think probably the easiest thing we could do is let's just quickly go around the room and, do a one or two sentence, or as long as you want, actually, intro of yourself. And I'm just going to call people out in the order I see. Well, we should start with Josie and Alex. And Josie, you go first.
good evening, everybody.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's all right. Good evening. My name is Josie Reese, and I'm so glad to be part of the Finance Committee. I'm so hopeful that I'll be able to add some value, especially in the area of trying to help all the departments find grants to help ease some of the tax burdens that we might have going forward, and also to help, continuously bring money into Nahant. My background is I was a international and government negotiator for GE for many years. I just recently retired and I'm looking for my second career, I think. I also was a grants manager and a grants negotiator for years for Yale University, Harvard, University of Connecticut, and several nonprofits. My current baby is that I'm starting a new foundation in New York. to help save a few landmarks that they have. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well,
Okay. Alex, I see. Oh, you're still with us. Okay, good.
Yep. Hey everyone. Sorry I'm on my screen's not on. I'm in my car right now. I'm at the football field actually. My name is Alex Kent. I've been in Nahant since 2011. I'm helping coach my son's football team, so hopefully I'll be able to make it next time because the season is winding down. I work at Harvard University. I work for the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences as a admissions and financial aid officer, where I've been there for about 15 years, like I said. I live over on Emerald Road. My neighbor is Peter Barba, who I believe is now the new town moderator, and he asked me if I would be interested in helping out and joining the committee, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do so. So I'm happy to be here and hopefully help out in some way. So I'll turn it back to everyone. Thank you, Bob.
All right. Bob Vanderslice, I am I am a recently retired, but not successfully retired, supply chain manufacturing consultant and lapsed accountant. I say unsuccessfully retired. I did retire on June the 30th, but at the middle of August or so, I started doing some consulting gigs and
Finance committee. I'll tell you later.
and
No, what do you want?
what's that? Barbara?
oh, hi. We have a lot of academics here. I'm a retired college
Who else?
professor. I was the chair of the education department at Wellesley.
That's
I very much enjoy being on FinCom. For those of you who are joining us, I think we're a very special group. We have fun together, and we'll say little whatever things, and I think we work really well together as a group. And so, Josie, and is it Alex or Alexander? Alex? I think it's Alex. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy being with us as well. And I can tell you already bring a lot of talents, so thank you in advance.
Thank you.
All right. Deborah?
Hi, I'm Deborah Warren. I am a former teacher and software development manager. I retired a long time ago, and I was raised in Nahant until I went to college, and then moved away for at least 30 years, and then moved back here about 10 or 11 years ago to a community that was quite different in many ways. And a lot of new people that I've really enjoyed meeting and working with. And I've been on the finance committee. Maybe this is my third or fourth year. And as Barbara said, I am really enjoying it, and I'm very happy to welcome you new guys.
Tim?
I'm Tim Bell. I think I first moved to Nahant in 1991. A couple of careers back then were science and banking, and then I was on the FinCom, I think in the early 2000s. Then I moved to Connecticut to go back to school again. Came back here, I guess in 2018, although I never really left. We kept the house here. We were always around. Um, and then other careers as a professor, and most recently I'm semi-retired, but I do tax advising and retirement advising. And I rejoined the FinCom, probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Who's next? Dana?
Sure. Thanks, Bob. Can everybody hear me okay?
Oh my gosh, you've gone to outer space now.
How do you like that?
What is that?
From your home office to outer space.
Well, this is my second time on FinCom. I did about 4 years ago, 4 years about 3 years ago. and I ran for elective office at the Housing Authority, and about 3 years there. And I was asked to come back to the Finance Committee, and I liked it so much. I'm back, and my connection to Nahant is deep, um, and shallow, shallow and deep. I don't know, but my great grandmother lived on Bass Point Road, and my grandmother and grandfather lived on Summer Street. My mother and father lived on Central Street and Summer Street when they first got married, and then they moved away. We all moved away as a family when I was about 5 years old or thereabouts, and I grew up elsewhere and lived in a few different places, namely around Boston, most recently in Vermont, and then we moved back to the Boston area to be around family, and I had a new daughter, and so we thought that Nahant would be a good place for her to grow up. And so we moved to Nahant in 2015, and we renovated a house, and we're on Valley Road here. Um, so we like it, and looking forward to the, helping the future of the town with its finances and all the other challenges. This town faces a lot of challenges about development, overdevelopment, and change. Change is going to happen. That's good, but I think people want to have a say so what that means. As far as my background is, worked many years in the investment management business and took an early retirement during the pandemic. And I was going to look for a job in Boston in the investment business as well, but because of the pandemic and the school problems, I decided to just take care of the family, get my daughter to school, and from there I got it just happened to mention to somebody I was interested in this job as a veteran service officer for the American Legion. And like 2 years later, somebody called me, "Hey, do you want that job still?" And I said, "Sure, I'll give it a try." And so that's what I've been doing the last year. I look forward to working with you all again, Bob and Barbara and Deborah. A lot of new faces here, and I guess we'll all get to know each other. There's a lot of like healthy debate here, and that's what we're about. We're trying to find out what's best for the town, and we might see things differently, but we all respect each other. We want to hear each other speak. And with that, though, Bob, I don't know when you want to reorganize the committee in terms of electing the chairman and the secretary, and also deciding on, if we're going to use Robert's Rules of Order or Bob Vanderslice's Rules of Order. But um, maybe tonight's not the night, but just thought I'd put that out there. And that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's my story.
So yes, we should. And I think we should do that at whatever our next meeting is. I didn't post it as an agenda item this time, and I probably should have. And we do try to stick to Robert's Rules of Order. Robert, whoever Robert was, not Vanderslice. Melanie,
Hello, welcome to FinCom. I've been on the committee for 2 years now, and I located to Nahant in 2016.
You're breaking up,
an
Melanie.
Pardon?
Sorry, you're breaking up your voice.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I moved to Nahant in 2016, and I'm an epidemiologist by training, and I currently work for an AI precision medicine company where I'm the VP of Regulatory Affairs and Quality.
ooh,
Oh, and I have a few decades before I can retire, so.
Okay. And Allison, I guess you should take a quick turn here too, since you work closely with us.
Okay, I'm Allison Nieto. I'm the town finance director and town accountant. And right now I'm serving as the interim town administrator after Tony Barletta left us on June 30th. So I've been with the town since January of 2021. So I've worked closely with the finance committee, all iterations of the finance committee that have been here. And then previous to Nahant, I was the finance director and town accountant for the town of Marblehead, and I was there for almost 5 years too. So same thing, I worked very closely with the finance committee in Marblehead, as well as the Board of Selectmen there. So happy to be with you guys and to look forward to working with you this year.
And Allison should add, she is a triple marathon. And what's it called? The one where you swim and you do all this stuff together? And
I like
she's won-
triathlons. Yes,
She's won, what's it called? A what?
triathlon.
Triathlon. And she's won all kinds of them. So we're looking at a superstar.
My most recent feat, though, was in September. I swam a race, an open water race from Short Beach around to Egg Rock and back. It was
Oh.
a 4 mile,
That
4
is
mile open water
impressive,
swim.
Allison.
So that was pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't even want to think about it. Maybe when I was younger, I would have thought about it, but not anymore. All right. Anyway, our next agenda item is 3A. So, okay. So, quick background. 3A is a state, whatever you want to call it, mandate that the town provide multifamily zoning. I'm trying to be as high level as I can on this one. It has to be whatever we're going to do has to be done by December 31st of this year, I believe, to be in compliance with the state regs. The plan right now is that there will be a special town meeting sometime in November, mid to mid late-ish November, to vote on a zoning bylaw change proposed by the planning board. So since it is a special town meeting, we, the finance committee, have to publish our recommendations. And if you kind of do the backwards scheduling of printer time and post office time, we need to get that in the mail by end of next week-ish, something like that. So that is the topic for this evening. My proposal on how to handle this is Tim Bell has been our liaison with the planning board and has attended all, if not, well, many, if not all of their meetings. And let's let Tim kind of give us a synopsis of 3A itself and what the planning board is proposing and how they got there. And then for our discussions, I think the first thing we should decide is, do we want to make a recommendation? I mean, we could, if we chose to, say, it's not not recommended, but a no recommendation. We don't think it's in our purview to do that. So I think that should be our first conversation. And then from there, if we decide we do want to make a recommendation, what should our recommendation be? And I'm hoping that out of that, we can kind of get a few of talking points that we would include in the written recommendation, what we're going to publish in the booklet. And then I or someone else, if you want, Tim, if you wanted to do that, that would be cool too, can put it in the form of a recommendation. And we can have another, hopefully very short meeting sometime next week to just vote on that recommendation and finalize it. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
going to Canada next week, but yeah.
Well, I think they have
But
the
we'll see,
internet.
let's see what we can get done. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what we can get done. They do
Yeah.
have internet in Canada. I know that.
So what I'd like to do is to do kind of a
Do you want me
my
to share what you
overview.
sent, Tim? I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Share it
I
because
will.
if you
I'll
share
see
it,
it.
they'll read it and they won't listen.
All right.
Oh,
That's wise.
so the state put a gun to our head proverbially saying you have to pass a zoning bylaw. Now, we're not going to tell you the details of where you have to put it or anything, but you have to do something or we're going to risk funding. And I think there have been some towns already where they've lost funding because the towns did not vote to approve an appropriate bylaw. Then, others can tell you why that bylaw, why this requirement was created. I don't want to go into the details of that, but the practical requirement is we have to create a adequately sized multifamily zoning district because we don't have any multifamily zoning districts by December 30th for an appropriate number of potential units. So as it turns out, we are very lucky. The Bass Point Apartments are in I think it's the R2 zoning district. That is the, regular people housing, single family homes district. And back in the 70s, when it was built, they got a special permit. And I believe they have 120, I believe it's 128 units at the Bass Point Apartments, which is way more than would be allowed under, if they were to turn it into 10,000 square foot lots and make single family homes. The state does not care that there's already 120 units there or 128 units there. The state says, oh, well, that's an R1, R1 or R2 zone unit. So what the planning board has proposed is to add what's called a zoning overlay to the area that encompasses the Bass Point Apartments. And with that zoning overlay, they're following the standard state guidelines, and it would allow up to 85 units. Notice that's less than the 128 that are there now. So it would allow the 85 units. And what that does is right now, Bass Point Apartments, they're fine. If they were to burn down because of grandfathering, they could rebuild exactly as they are under their existing special permit. If they wanted to do anything else, absent this bylaw, they'd be limited to single family zoning. So this bylaw says you can do those things, or if you want, you can tear down Bass Point Apartments and you can rebuild it as 85 units. And at 85 units, at least 10% have to be under the category of affordable housing. And I'm not going to get into the details of affordable housing versus low income housing. Just we're allowed to set that requirement. If we asked for anything more than 10%, then we would have to do an economic viability analysis to prove that a builder could do it with a higher level than that. So if they were to tear it down, they could rebuild it with 85 units and at least 10% of them being affordable housing. Or this special zoning district gives the owner a second option. That second option is they could rebuild or build new with 128 units, but only under the condition that at least 25% is affordable housing. If a builder were to choose, an owner were to choose that option, that would go a very long way towards solving our other zoning issue with where we don't have enough affordable housing in Nahant. Because there's a rule that says if you have at least 25%, then we count all of it.
Oh.
So now, Robert, feel free to share the 2-page summary that I wrote up.
All right. How does this work on Zoom?
Or you could also email it to everybody.
No,
Okay.
it'll take forever. I think I have shared it. Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if you're not able to, I'm able to send this out to everybody. And this is my informal summary. It may be the basis of a recommendation if the committee wants it to be. I'm sure it would be cleaned up nicer than what I wrote. So, and this is just walking through what I just said. Oh, the other important point is as I understand, there's a proposal that will be subject to a referendum at the election that might move or eliminate this 3A requirement. And so if that's the case, my recommendation would be that we schedule the special town meeting for after the election. And if the election removes 3A, then maybe we don't have the special town meeting. But
Oh,
if the election doesn't remove the 3A requirement, then we should go through and complete this process and approve um, uh, we recommend that the town approve this because it does, we got to be a little bit careful about saying this, but it's like we're getting credit for doing nothing because we're getting credit for allowing a multi-family zoning district in a spot that happens to already have higher density multifamily housing.
Yeah. So, Tim, two things. One, I believe the petition to repeal 3A will appear in the 2026 election. I did some homework on it. So
Okay.
there's a proposal out there. The proposal has been approved by the Attorney General as a, fitting subject matter for a ballot referendum. So now they have to go and collect 75,000 signatures, blah, 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 to get it to appear on the 2026 ballot. That's my understanding of it. And the only thing I would add to what you said is I believe the planning board has run this proposal by the state.
Yes, the state says this would qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been
Okay.
a lot of back and forth.
All right. Questions or comments for Tim?
Hi, this is Josie. I do have some questions, please. Just for clarification, 3B versus 40A. 3B, I believe, and make sure that I'm correct, is talking about affordable, extra affordable units, correct? 40B, right, 40B is about putting affordable and low-income housing. So when I was on the housing committee a while back, 3B to me, correct me if I'm wrong, the way
So I think it's 3A.
3A, yeah. The way I processed the information at the time, and maybe this would be helpful for other people, is almost every single town has zoning regulations that allow for, we're going to call them in-laws apartments, right? And we've had them in Nahant, and practically every town has them. What this does is allow by right versus asking the town and getting all of your neighbors to agree to let you have in-laws apartments and cottages in the back. It was meant to be an ADU law. I'm a bit confused as to why we are focusing at all on, Bass Point Road, which is more affordable housing and low income housing conversations, and not going back to this is about ADUs.
No, this is not.
No,
Josie, the ADU law was passed at the previous town meeting in May.
okay. So then I'm gonna add, thank you for that clarification, okay? I thought there were gonna be some updates. So this is, I've, since I've been involved with the housing committee and so forth, I have not been in favor of overlays on any property. I'm just gonna give you that up front. I think that there shouldn't be one zoning district for this. It should be across the entire island. I think what that does is it really gives more congestion to one area versus others. And I would recommend, and have been recommending for 3 years, that there not be just an overlay in just one area. I just want all of you to think about that. It should be across the board, anywhere on the island, because it's something that would benefit, yes, it would benefit the town to have it in one place, but you're talking traffic studies, you're talking, property values, you're talking quite a bit. So I'm not in favor of only locating one place. I'd like to see it across the board all over Nahant. That's my personal opinion. The second thing is, I did ask the housing committee and some questions, just some questions. Currently, Danny, you would know this better than probably the rest of us. Currently, the state does have some properties here that are low income properties. We have them near the police station, and we have them near Emerald Road, and I think it's Valley Road or wherever those other properties are. Now, I know that there's been a lot of conversation about this in town meetings and postponements, but one question that I had that hasn't been explored enough for me, okay, is why doesn't the state take the properties we currently have and instead of expanding out, expand up? So for example, if you look at one of the 2 families that we have near Emerald Road, there's a possibility of taking the same footprint and putting 6 units instead of 2 units to help. The other thing that's very helpful is right now, right near the police station, we could build or have the state build up and add another 15 to 20 units that way. I think that it's better when you're doing affordable housing to split it up in different areas versus burdening just one area. Because if you look at a lot of other towns, and there's a lot of debate about this, but I've experienced it, it brings down the property values in that one zone. And I've experienced it in my life and in my property investments in the past. So I just want people to think about that. It sounds easy to go ahead and just put it at Best Point, and maybe it does end up at Best Point, and that's okay. But I don't think an overlay and just forcing it only into one area is something that I would like to see.
All right. So Josie, before we get to that, are there other questions for Tim? And if not, I think the first thing we ought to do is decide, do we want to make a recommendation or not? And Dana's raising his hand.
Yeah, I have a, I guess, comment / question for Tim. Well, I guess the comment is that the existing development, the Bass Point Apartments, those are all single 1-bedroom apartments. So that's 128 1-bedroom apartments, and it could be redeveloped into larger units so that there could be 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 bedroom units if that were to happen. But ultimately, if we just pull back, we're talking about zoning. And I don't think, Tim, have we heard from the owners of the Bass Point Apartments? Have they have any comment on this zoning change proposal?
The owners of the Bass Point Apartments have been amazingly silent. The planning board has sent them letters. The chairman of the planning board has reached out to them, and they've heard static.
They were ecstatic.
Right. It appears that they want.
Static.
It appears that they want to operate it and collect the rents as is, and think the probability. Would you agree, Tim, is kind of low if we change the zoning that something actually will get redeveloped there? Would you agree with that?
Well, let me say it this way. you're right that they could redevelop it under option one, with 85 units, 10% being affordable. So that means 75 market units. So 75 nicer market units versus 128 existing one bedroom units. Yeah, that's a tough sell. And then going to 128 units with 25% affordable housing, I believe that's like 84 market units, which is a little more. But again, those are a hard sell. I can't say that something's going to change that wouldn't make them want to do it. But yeah, there's a good chance that they're going to say, why go to fewer units? Why go to definitely fewer market rate units, and have to spend a ton of money to do it? But it does satisfy the state requirement.
And one more question for either the group or for Tim is, do you have an idea of what grants are at stake if the town votes against this particular article and does not create the multi-family zone?
That may be an Allison question.
And before
Now,
we get to Allison, there was a nice list of grants at stake for Marblehead that I had shared with the planning board, but I didn't share. But now I defer to Allison.
Allison, do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I heard you. So it isn't clear what grants are in jeopardy. I mean, it's been broadly stated that it could be any of our state grants. A lot of state grants are now requiring that you show that you have met this 3A requirement upon application. So that's becoming a new requirement, but there's nothing out there that says which specific grants are in jeopardy.
So what grants are we currently receiving? I think there's the MVP grant, and I think that's substantial. And are there any other grants that you could share with us from the state that might be
Well,
at
the
risk?
school receives a multitude of grants. We received Chapter 90 funding for, our road construction project. That's a state grant every year. So the schools have a number of grants through the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. We also, it's not very clear if our unrestricted state aid is in jeopardy if we're not in compliance with this. And we also, we get refunded by the state for our, veterans abatements and our elderly abatements on taxes that could be in jeopardy. So there's a number of things that the state does provide funding to us for.
And if I can, Dana, one of the reasons why I wanted to be on this board is I know that we had quite a bit of conversation about how are we going to be paying for the sewers that need to be upgraded. There's a lot of grants that I wanted to bring forward that we could qualify for. And those are pretty hefty ones. We don't have them currently, but to be eligible for them, we would need to have something on the books to be able to either comply or get a waiver if the state decides that small towns can have waivers. So it's not just a matter of taking a look at what we have today, but let's say the next 3 years of the kinds of grants that we should be and could be going after would be my recommendation.
Yeah, thanks. That's it for me.
okay. All right. So question, and maybe we just do a consensus around the room just to see kind of where we are. Do we want to make a recommendation on this? So one of the choices we have is we could say no recommendation and essentially punt on this. Our
I'll go
history,
first.
our recent history has been to not do that.
This is kind of an important one, Bob. I would be in favor of taking a position in this as a committee, and if we have a substantial divide, we could also have a pro pro position and a minus position on it.
Yep. Okay.
I too would favor a recommendation. But
All right.
I also think we should probably have a recommendation. I'm wondering whether whatever happens with this, we can change it down the road, right?
Change the zoning, if we don't like the bylaw that we passed, we can amend the bylaw or remove the bylaw, and then there would be whatever those consequences are. Is that the
Yes,
question? Yeah.
that's the question.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think anything is permanent per se.
Yeah, it would require a town meeting or a special town meeting to do that. Because
Again, right,
yeah, it's another zoning bylaw change.
right.
But I will just add, if the owner applies for the permit under the new bylaw, once they've applied for the permit, we can't say, no, 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 we were kidding. I don't think that would be viable.
So, Bob, I'm in favor of us making a recommendation.
Good. All right. I don't know who we have not heard from, but we certainly a majority is in favor of making some sort of a recommendation. So off we go
Although
then. Go ahead.
I actually, I think technically I didn't say what my personal position was, but yes, I'm very much in favor of it because
I,
we can comply at almost no, what I would call zoning cost.
yeah,
yeah. And Tim, I'm kind of at the same place you are right now. This, I know 3A has raises, it's a real hot button for a lot of people. This is a state intrusion into what has historically been town decision making and town, well, I don't even know what the word is. So, places like Milford and Marblehead and a bunch of other towns, it's gotten to be a very hot point sort of an issue. Uh, but then here comes the but. But this is a very practical solution to the problem uh, that is at least appears that makes no change to the town, as it exists right now. So why poke the bear?
I'm not sure I can say no change, but I think it's comfortable to say that with no increase in overall housing density.
There you go. Better, yeah.
I'd like to ask a question, Tim. Have you seen a copy of a written response from the state saying that the Bass Point Apartments overlay zoning district is going to meet the requirements of the law?
I have not seen that, but I've observed the planning board meetings where that has been stated. That yes, and I know there was a question in the past about some flood zones, and with the way they've drawn it, yeah, that's all been approved. Yeah, it's like there's some flood zones in the middle of it, but that area doesn't count, I believe is the way that they've solved that, and that's all been approved by the state. That's my understanding. By the way, this was very short notice. I don't know if Sheila's back, but if you want, we could easily get somebody from the planning board here for our next meeting.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see it in writing. I'm kind of in the trust but verify camp on this.
mhm.
'Cause sometimes things can change, and we could go about the business of passing this bylaw and think we're in a good place, but then, somebody changes the rules after the fact, and that's why a written response would give me a higher level of comfort.
So to that point, Bob, Dan Scrip is trying to log into the meeting right now.
Oh,
He's in the
okay.
waiting room. And he's the one that's been communicating with the state on this, so.
All right. As soon as I can figure out how I get to the waiting room, I will let him in. Tell him, tell him, tell him I'm working on it. And while I'm working on it, wait, mute. Where's the waiting room in Zoom?
It should be right at the top of your screen.
My screen, meeting, workplace, sign in, recording, view.
Because you're the host. It should, or let me see if he's still in there.
I don't know. Host tools. How
You
about
get it?
host tools? No. Enable waiting room, share screen, blah, 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 blah.
You want to have him run over to my house? He's about 5 doors away.
No, we don't have to do that. Come on, there must be a way to do this.
You let everybody
He
else in.
said he hung up. He's gonna try. He's gonna call back in. And then it should just pop up on your screen when he does.
Okay. All right. Well, I just killed enable waiting room. That was the only thing it seemed like I could do. I can't find where I can see the waiting room, but I can disable it. That's crazy.
Call back in.
Meeting.
We owe thanks to the planning board, who have really done a thorough investigation on this.
Yeah, they looked at a variety of properties. They, set
No,
their methodology in advance, and the Bass Point apartment wins by a considerable margin.
right.
So
And they
Tim,
looked at,
Tim, if I can, I'm a bit confused. Again, I know Dana and I were on the housing committee a couple of years ago. And at that time, the state consultants absolutely said there was no way Bass Point would qualify. And it also said, here you state the law does not look at what is actually being built. It looks only at the zoning regulations.
What
At
has
that time,
already been built?
I'm confused.
Uh, the law does not look at what has already been built.
Okay, not actually. Okay, so that clarifies it. So
Yeah.
then the state is going to expect Nahant to come up with these 85 units, not just zone, but actually come up with it.
No.
Okay, so
As
that's where this is all very nebulous and not clear.
So
so,
is
go
hang on,
ahead.
guys, just for a second. Is 617-794 6173? Is that Dan script?
Yes,
It
it is.
is. Can you guys hear
Hey.
me?
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining.
Great. Happy to help.
All right. So maybe I can turn the waiting room back on now.
Yes, actually, I would, Bob, just so.
I know we've had some trouble.
So it's my understanding that the 3A that we're directly addressing with this zoning bylaw only requires a zoning change. 40A requires building, but that's not directly what we're addressing with this bylaw.
Yeah, that's right. We just need a zoning district for multifamily housing. That's it. We don't need to put a shovel in the ground at all. It's just to give folks the ability to build multifamily housing in some part of Nahant.
So
When
can
do
I
we have-
ask, why only one area not in Nahant and not across the island, please?
that was
Well,
considered.
it was considered, but the regulations say it's got to be within 5 contiguous acres, as I recall. It can't be sort of spotted around. That'd be one big chunk. Well, at least 5 acres. And for as small as we are, we don't really have 5 acres to spread around. We just have the overlay district that we're considering.
And we wouldn't want to make the entire town multifamily zoned.
I
I
would.
assume.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let's keep in mind that the state does not consider our existing multifamily housing units as credit towards Section 3A because we have plenty. We have the Anchorage, we have Rockledge, we have Bass Point, we have Spindrift, and another one I'm forgetting at the moment. So we already have a ton of it, but it doesn't count because they're all pre-existing nonconformities. It's not within a district that allows it. So really, it's comical because we already have enough to comply with the numbers that they want. Now we just make it official, so to speak, in quotes.
Hey, Dan, this is Dana. So the question came up before you're on about, have you seen or does there exist a written response from the state saying that the zone considering the Bass Point apartments is will satisfy the requirements of the 3A law?
No. And I'm very careful when I say that because they're never going to say officially that we're going to pre-approve it. What they're going to say is that we have no problems with it. And given that we have Nels helping us, that just moves the ball forward. They're just going to say we have no issues with it. They won't officially approve it until we get past town meeting. But I've been in touch with Margaret Hurley as recently as last night, talking about the progress. And she has never once said, hey, this is a problem. You need to fix this. She is just asking me, where are you guys in the progress? She already saw the draft bylaw and she had no issues with it. But she can't officially say, yeah, we approve it until it actually becomes part of her unhonored desk until after special town meeting. So the official answer is no, but the unofficial answer is yeah, they have no problem with it. They're fine with it.
All right.
And can you explain who Nels is?
Yeah, Nels and Margaret, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Nels is a consultant that the planning board hired to, sort of shuttle them through the process. And he's basically an expert. He can tell us what to do to make it happen. So that's Nels. Allison, you might know what company he's from. I don't really know that, but that's his sort of. He's a consultant.
Yeah, and so
That's approved by the
basically
state.
the planning board received grant funding to pay for his services. So they received grant funding from the state. So Nels is helping a number of communities come into compliance with this regulation. So yes, he's an expert.
So with this step of approval, it can do nothing but help us. So that's Nels. Margaret is a part of the attorney. She's an assistant attorney general that overseeing the whole process. And I've got emails from her before the selectmen's meeting, before the planning board meeting, and now after this meeting, I'm going to send her another email saying, here's where we are. And we sent her a copy of the draft bylaws, and she had a few comments that the planning board incorporated. So at the end of the day, the truth is that if we send it to them and they deny it, it would be a shocker. It would be, wait a second, we thought we were okay. It would be shocking if we got a response back saying this is not going to work for the Attorney General's office. I can't imagine that happening, but there is a 1% chance it could happen like anything else.
Well, there's no absolutes for sure. And does Margaret Hurley, she works for the Attorney General's office?
Oh no, she's big time. She was head of the municipal law unit out of Worcester for many years, and now she is. They transitioned her to some other sort of alphabetical title. But the point is that she's a point person to talk to, and she's been with us every step of the way. So, and we've never heard one bit of a concern from her, except for a few comments on the draft bylaw, which the planning board incorporated. So the point is that we're in lockstep with her. So
okay.
So
if
you
have a high level of
if
confidence,
it does go to
good. That's good for me. I just want to try to get into that a little bit to make sure that we're going in the right direction and not have to redo
absolutely
this.
100%.
So thank you. Don't say 100%.
Yep.
Don't say 100.
Well, no.
Say,
Okay, we're 100% confident of the 90% probability. Fair enough.
All right.
So is it limited only to the Bass Point property, or is there a map here where that particular zoning would be more than just Bass Point?
No, the overlay district only applies to Bass Point property.
Only. Okay.
Yeah, and it makes
that was a
sense
question.
because that is multifamily housing. That is a textbook example of
Right.
multifamily housing. So it all
Okay,
makes sense that it would be there.
So it wouldn't be in the surrounding neighborhood, correct? It would only be Bass Point.
Well, you have a map that shows the overlay district, and
Can we
that's
see?
where it is. My understanding is that. Sorry.
Can we see that again, please?
I can't see it. I'm on my phone, but
Okay.
I would imagine you have it somewhere in your papers.
Josie, could I describe it to you?
Yeah, because I think it's much more than just Bass Point. I'm
Yeah,
just
you know
curious.
you know where there's that open space between the tennis courts and the pools on the Bass
Yeah,
Point apartment.
yeah.
Over to the town right away. That's where the property begins. If you're standing on the road, looking at it, begins on the right at the town right away, and it goes out on the peninsula where the apartments is
Right.
now, and it adds up to roughly 5 acres.
All right, but I'm just saying that the zoning isn't expanding up Gardner Road, up to Tri Mountain. It's only going to be
No.
the property of Bass Point.
No,
Correct.
Okay, I just
Right.
wanted to clarify.
That's a great
that.
question. It's a great question. No, it's just Bass Point. In fact, Allison invited the owners of Bass Point to come to the planning board hearing to talk about what this might affect, and they never showed up. So they
For
have nothing to
visual,
say, apparently.
I do have the map if you want me to share my screen.
Yes, please. I was just looking for it myself. If you've got it, go for it.
See that? So it's this area right here.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the property, very familiar with the property. I was just wondering because if you go up Gardner Road, there are several multi-family housing. I mean, there's at least 3 that I know of. So it's interesting that we're going to just limit it there and not expand it if you're going to do an overlay. I mean, if it's limited to that and the town is okay with it, fine. I think though, like I said, my recommendation would be not just 1, because we're going to be possibly facing a conflict later on when we have to build more affordable housing and Bass Point doesn't respond. Then what are we going to do?
Well, this does not apply to affordable housing. This is
I know.
apples and oranges. This is multifamily
Mhm.
housing. So
Right.
Well, right,
it doesn't
but
apply here.
I respectfully disagree. From the conversations we had at the housing committee before, it needs to be it could be multi-housing to be able to do affordable properties. So I think, again, that's my rationale. My rationale is that's great to just to do one zone, but are we going to have a problem later on if the owners of Bass Point do not want to help us, if we are not waived of the other obligation, then we are just in one zone and we don't have the options to look at other places and to be able to spread it out.
We always have an option.
Okay, I just want to bring that up for people to think about.
No, that was what I had asked, and everyone had agreed that we can change it, we can add on. I mean, it would require further town meetings. We'd have to get it on new warrants, more approvals, but we can certainly, add and change.
I also think that limiting it to this zone makes it much more likely that the town will approve it. If we were to add additional zones with additional real increases in housing density, it's much less likely that the town would approve it.
Well, and
Yeah, I
also the density requirement goes up if the planning board wrote that as part of their recommendation. The density goes up if you do the whole town as an overlay. And so that was one reason why the planning board ruled that out.
I'm looking at this as being, here we meet the requirement and it's a good start. And if it turns out later on, we decide we want to add more, that's for later on. But for now, we meet the requirement and that's good. Does that sound
Agreed.
correct?
Absolutely true. That's
Thank
why
you.
we have Nels. Nels made sure we met the requirement. For sure.
Yeah, I'm with Barbara on this one too. I feel like that this is not the end of the process. It's just a beginning, and we have something we got to do by December. So I'm in favor.
Well, I'm in favor of passing something because I think we shouldn't, forego any grants. But I just think, having worked with states before, that once you put something forward, it's just so much more red tape to go back and change it. And you have to hire consultants again and start the process. I just want to keep that in mind. Okay. Just keep it
That's
in mind is
absolutely
all I'm
valid.
saying.
Yeah, you're
Without
right.
even having talked to Bass Point, I think we can put something on paper and send it out all you want, right? And it's an easy fix. But I think that it may cause more issues down the line if you only put it in one zone and you only haven't had any conversations with Bass Point at all. I think my personal opinion is great if it passes, great if Bass Point was on board, but I haven't heard that yet. So having not heard that yet, I think just making a general zoning law that says it could be anywhere and then leave it open for the town and the builders to decide later on. Wherever there's three, I thought it was that it changed from 5 acres to 3 acres. Am I wrong?
No, I believe it's 5 acres.
It has stayed 5 acres. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, could we just consider, and again, I don't want to rewrite all the good work that the planning board has done. I mean, just leave a general zoning, anything that's over 5 acres, and just not say where it is. Why do we have to pinpoint an area?
Zoning is area specific. You can't have like a floating zoning area. But Josie, let's kind of turn one of your concerns here to a question to Dan.
Yeah.
We have not heard from the owners of Bass Point. Do they have any sort of recourse in this?
That's my question.
Okay. Okay. So yes. So first of all, Allison, I said specifically reached out to them. So them not responding is sort of a constructive approval, but I appreciate it's not an absolute approval. But their recourse would be to appear at special town meeting in November because they know this is not working for us in the town for X, Y, and Z reasons. They can do that. And even if they don't do that, if it does pass special town meeting, it goes to the AG's office, and then they have an opportunity to say, this is why this bylaw should not be approved by your office, X, Y, and Z reasons. So yes, they have basically sort of appellate rights, so to speak, moving forward. But to the point, but since they haven't even made a phone call to town hall, I don't think they are going to say a word about it. They have no incentive to be honest.
Yeah. So they could appear at town meeting, but they would be just like any other citizen. They would speak and they would vote.
Yes.
And
oh, hold on. Well, I'm not quite sure if they're residents of the town, but they can speak pursuant to the town moderator's permission if they're not registered voters. And I'm sure, whether it's Peter or the other town moderator, I can't imagine be a problem. Dave, sorry. I always have a mental block with. I see him on the ferry all the time.
How quickly we forget, right?
Right. He's awesome.
It seems to me that if we have all you people who have done this research and who are in the know, who are prepared to field their questions or complaints at town meeting, that may be enough.
Well, we'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think Nels will be there too, actually.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I can't guarantee that, but we'll invite him for sure.
Mhm.
And in fact, I'll send Nels an email tonight asking him to make himself available for town meeting in mid-November, if that helps.
I think
Bob,
the
do we
planning
need to
board
have,
is planning on inviting him, so.
do we need to have a
Yeah.
motion to, and then call a question about that we do want to make a recommendation?
Ultimately, yes. And, you know, my sense of the meeting is that's sort of what we've been circling around on. So if anyone wants to make a motion and we have a second, we can just vote on it.
That's what
So
I was
moved.
going to suggest, that unless people want to continue, I would be happy to move that we do make a recommendation.
I second the motion.
So Barbara, just to be clear, so your motion is that we are endorsing the planning board's recommendation for a multifamily zoning overlay at Best Point. Yes?
Actually, it's a two-part motion. The first part is that we make a recommendation, and the second
Okay.
part is that we recommend the, I'm being very technical.
No, you're right. That's fine.
That's the way to
And
go.
the second part is that we recommend the Bass Point overlay.
All right. And then Dana, I'm assuming you were seconding it?
Yeah, I was seconding the first motion that Barbara mentioned, that we would in fact take a position on the issue and make a recommendation one way or another on the
So
proposed
why don't we
3A law.
why don't we bust it into two pieces? So first motion for consideration made and seconded is that we do in fact make some sort of a recommendation. So an I vote is that we will make a recommendation, and a no vote is it goes back to discussion again. So all in favor, and I'm just going to do a quick roll call vote in the order I see them on Zoom here. So Dana,
Aye, I vote aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Josie,
Aye.
Tim, people moving around.
Aye.
I remember this. Alex, are you still there?
Aye. Alex votes aye.
Excellent. Thank you. Who did I miss? Oh, Melanie. Where did you go? There you are. Melanie?
Aye.
All right. I think that's a unanimous vote in favor. As soon as somebody says aye, the order changes on my list. So I'm a bit challenged there. All right. So now on to the second motion, Barbara, was that we endorse the planning board's zoning bylaw for an overlay district at Bass Point.
And
Correct.
Bob, you're taking minutes?
We
I
didn't
guess.
even do that. And
Yes.
I was hoping, because I saw on the workplace Zoom thing that it said AI would take minutes for us, but we didn't talk about taking minutes at the beginning of the
No,
meeting.
I've been taking notes and I will turn them into minutes.
Thank you.
Can we put that on the agenda for next time? Just shove it down the road. I mean, the question of making minutes
Making
this
minutes,
year.
yeah,
And
Who's
whether
gonna?
we can use it, and I'd like to add
Yeah,
whether we can use AI to do it.
right.
right. I mean, we before I retired and after I retired, we've been using AI to do meeting summaries. We've been doing it in Teams, which is a Microsoft kind of version of Zoom. That's damning it with faint praise. And it works really well.
If they can capture the motions, the specific motions and so forth,
Yeah.
it would
Yeah,
work.
I don't know how well Zoom works, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the motion was endorsing the planning board's recommendations made by Barbara, seconded by Dana.
Yes, seconded by
Yes.
Dana.
Okay, and then all in favor, Barbara,
Aye.
Dana,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Josie,
Abstain.
Okay. Melanie,
Aye.
Tim,
I,
Alex.
Aye.
All right, so not a unanimous vote in favor, but everyone, all ayes except for one abstention, which is Josie. So, let's see. Practically, how do we want to proceed? We need to write something that
so,
would appear in the
you want
book.
us, you want to use what I wrote as a first draft. I'd love to have somebody else take a look.
Um,
I'd be happy to do that, Tim.
all right. Does everybody have it or not?
Will you, yeah, so if someone could send it, you said you were going to email it, Tim.
Yeah, now I gotta just,
Are you doing it? I'm doing it too.
it's a race.
I have,
You'll
I
win.
have it from I went to the planning board meeting and they gave us it.
They didn't give you what I wrote.
No, they gave us an
No.
8-pager.
They gave us
Yeah.
It was 8
a whole,
pages.
yeah,
Wasn't it?
proposed summary and everything.
Yeah, that
Which
was
I
written by
encourage you to
Rob.
review.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was written by Rob Steinberg.
Yes.
Right.
But
And
yours is a digest, Tim, and that would be useful for us to see. So we'll see who wins the race.
Okay, hold on.
And Allison, I believe the planning board has also written a like multi-page whatever treatise and supporting this.
So I just sent everybody that
You
was on
and
the email list, what I had previously sent. And I want to make 2 changes. One change is in the first paragraph. And it says the law does not look at what has already been built instead of actually been built. So I guess this is mostly for Dana. And the second change is I was under the impression that there was going to be the referendum this year, but as I understand from Bob Vanderslice, that would be via a 2026 state referendum.
So can I put in a request with Allison? I don't want to give you a lot to do. I know you got 2 jobs you're trying to take care of now, but could you give me some kind of estimate of what is at stake in terms of grants if the town does not vote for this law? So like the grants themselves and the dollars that we got last year, so that just we can give the town an idea.
Yep.
Can that?
So I had sent something to Bob about a month ago, because he had requested that, so I can send that to you.
All right,
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, don't need
I'll
to
send
have
it to the group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is really the financial impacts of the town. You know, passing this zoning law, I don't think really has much effect at this point. If there would be redevelopment, there would be financial impacts of the town. The only impacts of the town that I can see, if we do not pass this 3A law, is we're going to have to defend it in court, and it's going to cost the town money in legal fees and
Yeah.
potential lost grants. Those are kind of important reasons to consider passing it if it fits for the rest of the town. And we'll see where the town is on this politically. So in terms of getting a grip on what that financial impact is, if I can get the grants, that'd be helpful. And we can only guesstimate what the legal cost would be to defend the town if we don't have a 3A law.
I mean, I would think that people at the town meeting would hear the word of a threatened suit and would be sit up and take notice.
Yeah, the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts has already held that this compliance is mandatory, not discretionary. And the worst result that we might get is the state saying, okay, you won't do it, we'll do it for you, which we do not want.
Right.
We don't want them saying where to put our district. So that's the ultimate penalty, I think. And it's trending that way. Milton was the lead case. And the SJC came down very hard saying, you don't have a choice. You need to do this, period. You can't say no.
So if I can interject here, I think we should absolutely have multi-housing zones. But my question is, why aren't we using the zoning laws we currently have that have allowed for multi-housing in more than one location? And why are we now changing our zoning practices to only identify one location? And if someone can answer that for me, I think that's the biggest deal. I mean, we have multifamily condos and apartments all over the place. Why do we want to change the zoning law to only make it in one area? This is something that needs to be clarified for me. I absolutely want multi-housing. I want to comply with 3A. I know I want to go after a lot of grants for the town, but I don't understand why we're changing a zoning law that has allowed it in other places and now only saying one place. That is something that's not clear to me.
Great question.
Oh. Go ahead, Dan.
Our zoning does not allow multifamily housing. The only multifamily housing that exists in Nahant is pre-existing non-conforming, which is to say that it existed before 1965-ish, before the Zoning Control Act was passed. We only have B1, B2, R1, R2, none of which allow multifamily housing. So we don't have any multifamily housing districts in Nahant. If they exist here, it's only because they've been here for so long, they're pre-existing what they call grandfathering. So to answer your question, at this point, there is no zoning district in Nahant that allows new multifamily housing.
Okay. So I think that's really important to bring up to the town hall and perhaps in our recommendation that, people see multifamily all over town, right? So the explanation that the current ones were pre-1969 or whatever date you said, and then there was a zoning regulation to make it only single, and basically we're just trying to meet it halfway, I think would be very favorable for people who have the same questions that I have.
Hey, Josie, as Dana,
you're right.
maybe you could write that up as part of our recommendation as a minority opinion, or wherever it stacks up, and include it, and then we can put this all together as part of our recommendation for the book that we have to get out in less than a week.
I think it absolutely has to happen. It's just my question is why in one location, right? That's my only issue.
Oh, so you're gonna take that? You're gonna take that on, write a couple paragraphs on that?
I think if our chairman would like me to, I could certainly try.
You can give it a whirl, and
I'll send it to
do
you.
what we've done. I guess it's become our tradition that we do a group read and edit on this. And my 2 cents is we need a concise opening sentence, probably a 1-sentence paragraph that just says something like, this is a practical solution to addressing the state mandate of 3A that will result in
Write it
something
up.
like that.
That's it. That's good.
And Allison, I just forwarded to everybody the summary you sent to me.
The one with the listing of the grants and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just drafting that email, so now I'll delete my.
Yeah, I didn't send it to you because you've already got it. Okay. And whatever we do or we say, I think we need to be very brief or at least concise. We have to be concise because the planning board's already got a multi-page thing in there. And there's no sense in repeating what they already say.
But that should be an appendix.
Oh, it
I
will.
mean-
Yep. Yes, we were going to include that, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it here and it's very thorough and we should make that an appendix, right?
Yeah.
This is Rob's document that you're talking about, Barbara.
Yes, exactly, right.
Is Rob's document, though, the final recommendation of the planning board? I thought they produced something
He
else.
had two. He sent one out about a sketch about maybe for just their own use about a month ago, but this one I think I got somewhere. Where did
Yeah,
we
the
get it
one that
from?
I circulated to
Yeah.
you last week is the planning board's final recommendation.
That's the one,
document.
yeah.
So we would make that an appendix, correct?
Yeah.
I think you could, as is.
As
Yeah.
is.
No. Yeah. This would be. It's like the proponent's statement. So yeah, absolutely, it's going to be there. So I guess my only question is, oh yeah, okay. If it's not verbatim the thing that Rob prepared earlier, it's pretty darn close.
Are you suggesting we send it back to him too, or that we edit it or something?
No,
We
no,
can't edit it.
we can't.
It's their
Oh,
document,
because that's their official document, right?
right?
Yeah.
How soon do we need to meet again to
Um,
go over this, do you
Jim,
think?
how long do you need?
Sorry?
How long do
Just to
you
me?
need
Sorry.
yeah, to Tim Bell?
Well, I think so Dana was going to take a look, and maybe Dana, you and I could do a little bit of back and forth in the next couple of days.
Yes, what I was thinking was that if people were to take a look at what you've written up and somehow can get all those comments to me and not violate the open meeting law, and I'll smash it all together and run it by you, and then bring it up for the next meeting. I'm going to try to be concise and focused on specifically the 3A law. And then also, Josie said she was going to write something up about, she had some concerns beyond the 3A law reaction. And so, I mean, we could take that too. And with all those elements, we might be able to then go into the painful exercise of the the Zoom meeting as we edit the document and getting it done.
Oh, we like the fly specking. It's fun.
As long as we keep it under 3 hours.
Well,
Exactly.
exactly. So my mind is saying that our recommendation is like one page
Max,
and no more.
And mine is
Matt.
Yeah, I'm with you
currently
there.
2.
Hmm?
Mine is currently 2, or like 1 3/4. So it's got to be
Yeah.
less than that.
Well, we'll hack at it.
Hey, one other thing too, the planning board's recommendation, I think we should keep that separate. We can certainly put it in our warrant book, but I think it's a separate committee that came at it differently, and that's my endorsement.
I
agree.
believe that's standard procedure.
Yep.
We have our recommendation, they have their recommendation, they have their document.
Yep. Okay. So how long do you think we need here? How much lead time do you want?
Is that to me?
Well, I think to you and Tim together.
And then Josie too. She's gonna
I
pull
get to
something
something
together.
tomorrow. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Looking at my calendar here.
Do you think everybody can get
Tuesday.
any comments? Do you think everybody can get comments to us, say by Saturday?
By comments, you mean what?
Um,
On what Dana writes?
Well, so I've already written something.
Yeah.
You now have it. And if you want to throw a comment or two and highlight, and then we can try and see if we can integrate and
Wouldn't it
cut
be
back.
easier to come up with something and then to do that live online, the editing, the fly specking, as opposed to all of us barraging you with little bits and pieces of comments?
And Dana, is what you, I mean, Tim, is what you wrote an actual, recommendation format? I haven't seen it yet. It has to be in our,
What I wrote was a summary, slightly informal description.
I saw
It
that,
wasn't a recommendation per se.
but we have to have a recommendation. It
Right.
has to be in the
Right.
standard format.
Yes.
It has to look like what a warrant always looks like.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to say
Recommended.
Exactly.
Then we start with our whatever, our bullet point, our talking point, practical solution to the problem. We probably have a paragraph about what 3A is and why we have to comply. We probably have a paragraph about the planning board describing what the zoning bylaw change is and why.
If I can
And
interject, I think the history is very important for a lot of people. If we can put in that, Nahant had multi-zoning for, I don't know how many years, and then the year that it's changed, we're just going back to a multi-zoning.
is that the case?
I
I
think we
thought,
just had no zoning. We had no zoning regulation.
Yeah.
okay, which allowed for multi-family houses, because I've been asked that quite a bit, before. How did we get away with having it before, and now all of a sudden, we're trying to put it in one spot? So I think some history lesson saying this isn't really changing much about Nahant. It happened in the past. I don't know the years. What year did that single family zoning come into being? If we can get that would be helpful for folks to understand.
But my understanding is that, how can I put it? It was much more informal, that there wasn't really any actual legal things happening. It just happened. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should talk a little bit about the scope of what we're trying to do. And I certainly appreciate, Josie, the history of this. However, if we're trying to have a focused reply for the town and to have our recommendation out there, I mean, I don't know where to begin and end with the history. So
What I'm trying to do is, I've had quite a few people over the last couple of years tell me, why are we trying to put it on just one place? Why are we not doing it across the board? Nahant did have multi-housing at some point in our history, because we didn't want to be overbuilt. A zoning law was passed that made it single family, right? So now this law requires it to be multifamily again. And so we're trying to meet the town and the state halfway by only identifying one parcel that's most likely already multi anyway. I find it very interesting that it's only going to be one. Like I said, I think down the road, we're going to have some issues if it's only one location. But it does need to be passed. The question is, how do we convince the public that we can change it later on? Because you have certain people out there that are very vocal who'll say, once you put something in for the state, it takes an act of Congress to change it.
hey, so
Well,
Deborah, just thanks for that. But Deborah, I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think in terms of process of getting this done, did I hear you say that you preferred to?
A little interference on the line here.
Yeah, that's Dan on the line.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
All right, I think he went on mute. But Deborah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to come back to you on your idea that maybe we just go right to the would you call it fly specking? Um, I'll do an online meeting and just finalize it all there.
I think we're pretty darn efficient when we do it that way. And I think that for you guys to get field comments from right and left from all of us while you're trying to draw up this initial document is not as efficient.
Okay, I'll defer to that if everybody else wants to do it that way.
I do. I agree.
Okay. All right. So there's the
But
plan.
Josie, I understand what you're saying. And I want to let you know, I completely understand what you're saying. And so you're making important points.
And I want it to pass. I just want to be able to hit people with the answer before they even start the question. And you know how these town meetings go, people go in tangents, right? So if we're prepared for these questions that have been brought up many, many times already, I think it would be a more convincing argument. That's all I'm saying.
And it's very helpful that you said that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So somewhere between Tim and Dana will have a draft for us by Wednesday of next week.
I thought someone said earlier than that, didn't we?
I don't know.
It's up to you guys.
I
I
don't know.
can do a meeting on Tuesday. I can't do a meeting on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday of next
Works for me.
week.
Tuesday's good.
And
But
then
me.
you can send around that draft in advance, but I would ask that people do not comment on it
I agree.
over email
agree.
because that
Correct.
That muddies things.
That muddies things, and it also breaks the open
and
meeting
it
law.
breaks the open meeting law.
Right.
Yeah, we can't
So
do
we're
it that way.
talking Tuesday, the 21st?
Yeah.
Tuesday, the 21st?
Oh, now wait a minute. I can't do Tuesday the 21st.
Okay.
Tim can't do Wednesday.
How about
I can't
Thursday?
do Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm out of
Is
state.
Monday too soon for you guys? Dana and Tim?
Okay, yeah, how
Monday
about
works.
Monday the
Fine.
20th?
Yeah, I can do that.
That's fine
Yeah.
with me.
If you
Just
guys
as long
can
as I
do
don't
it.
miss Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but can we post it in time?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah,
This is
well,
tomorrow.
oh,
I don't
No.
think so. No,
No, we can't. We can't.
we can't.
Wait, hold on. You post your next meeting?
Yeah.
Well, you can, what you can do is you can suspend this meeting and continue it for another date without having to post it according to open meeting law. As long as you say tonight, we're resuming this meeting, we're suspending this meeting, we'll
oh,
resume on this date and time, and here's how, we can
Okay.
connect.
Oh,
So
I like
what
it.
date are you suggesting?
that's
great.
great.
Monday.
Monday.
Monday is good.
All right.
Monday
So
the 20th.
Yeah, so we're too late for the open meeting law, but you can suspend this meeting and say, we will reconvene on this date and time with I don't know how you would do the whole Zoom information part of it. Unless we can say it's the same Zoom info as this one, but yeah, you can just not close this meeting and say, we're going to resume this meeting on Monday.
all right.
Because it's
So
supposed to meet on Wednesday,
Dan,
that would be the target.
can you help with the the exact wording of whatever motion needs to be made or whatever we have to say? And two, do we have to do anything with the town clerk to notice that the meeting is continued?
No. So this is an open meeting at the moment. So it's like a hearing. You can suspend a hearing and start and resume another day. Same thing. You can say right now, all those folks are listening on whatever venue or format. We're suspending this. We're not closing it. We're suspending the meeting. So it's not a motion to close, motion to suspend at the end of this meeting. And we'll resume on Monday at X amount of time with the same Zoom info, same phone number, whatever the contact information is. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that last bit though. I think it will have to be a different Zoom ID, Zoom URL.
What you can do is just say in person, town hall, conference room B, whatever,
Yeah, okay.
on Monday.
Do that too.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ooh, no,
That's
I'm
fine.
not going to be here. I can't do that.
But Can it be
Well,
hybrid?
well, hold on. If you're the only one, you can call in. You can call in.
Yeah,
That
okay,
can be fine.
okay.
So another
As
thing in
long as there's a
terms of
majority in
process too,
person.
excuse me, the agenda is still the agenda good enough? Does it cover
Yeah,
us?
no, it's the same thing. We're just continuing this conversation for another day. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Did
the
you-
agenda is discuss proposed zoning bylaw subject of upcoming special town meeting, and then administrative public forum. So do we want to just do a quick public forum here tonight,
Wait a minute, does that
tick
mean
that off,
we're having
and
an
then
in-person meeting?
suspend the meeting?
We're
Yeah,
having
exactly.
Does it
It
have
can't
to
be
be?
hybrid, is what you're saying. No
It can't
hybrid.
be hybrid. It has to be in person.
Yes, because we can't at this moment say, here is the Zoom information to join. We have to say, if you want to knock on a door and come in, you need to, here's a physical spot you need to be. Yes, so if that's true. It needs to be in person in town hall. A few folks can call in, I mean, in terms of the FinCom meeting, but a majority should be physically in town hall on Monday, at whatever time you choose.
Okay.
So do we want to do a public forum now and then see if anybody wants to
Yeah,
comment and then suspend the meeting?
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. The more public input, the better. Absolutely.
All right, so public forum. Dan and Allison, what do you have to say?
Well, so I just want to make you aware, the Board of Selectmen is meeting next Wednesday to select a date for the special town meeting. So just kind of talking about time frame. If you guys are meeting on Monday, and hopefully, have your recommendation ready, the printer needs 2 weeks to turn around the book. And the book needs to be mailed to every residence 7 days in advance of the special town meeting date. So honestly, I'm just trying to figure out what day I'm gonna tell the selectmen that I would recommend them to have the date on.
How about Thanksgiving?
So I'm thinking the week of the 17th, the week before Thanksgiving.
So they're going to meet on the 22nd, right, of October.
Correct.
And then the printer needs 2 weeks, which takes us to the 5th of November.
Mhm.
And then 1 week post office lead time takes us to the 12th, which is my birthday. So anytime after the 12th.
It doesn't have to be on a Saturday.
No, so we're actually thinking about having it on a weeknight.
Good.
So either like the 17th, 18th, or the 20th. The 19th would be a regular Board of Selectmen meeting. I mean, we could have it that night too, but
most likely the week of the 17th.
yeah, okay. So just to keep all those time frames, and
And of
everyone.
course, every extra day we get during that week is sort of helpful, right?
Yeah.
So later in the week, maybe,
Yeah,
if that works, but
I think people
Okay.
tend to like Thursdays.
yeah, I'm thinking the 20th.
The 20th,
Which is
November 20th.
Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
right.
And Thursdays are usually a good meeting night when you're having a night meeting.
Yeah.
That's also the Thursday before the turkey shoot.
Ooh.
Which was approved last night, Tim, by the way.
I heard.
Do you
What
actually
exactly
shoot, do you
is the
actually
turkey
shoot real
shooting?
turkeys?
No, you shoot paper targets.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
shoot it, what sort of a weapon are you using to shoot them?
BB gun. Red
BB
Ryder.
gun. Oh, I got
Where
a Red
does-
Ryder for Christmas last year.
Where does this happen?
This is behind the DPW on Saturday the 22nd.
Well, that's
Does it
cool.
have to
It's
be a
fun
BB
for young
gun?
and old.
Can it be a paintball gun?
Nope, you have to use our weapons.
Okay.
Sorry, firearms. No, they're not
They're
firearms.
not
Who
firearms.
makes the
You have to use our
turkeys?
guns.
Who makes the
What's that?
turkeys?
People donate the turkeys. The
do you
Lions
mean?
donate the turkeys.
The lions, they make them, they like creatively
No.
draw them?
Actually, I made the target like 25 years ago, but and we keep recopying the same ones. But yeah, it's a paper target with numbers on the back. And if you're a dead eye, you shoot at the eye, it's 25 points. If
Oh,
you're not a dead eye, you shoot at the stomach where there's a bunch of 15 points.
oh. Are they colorful? I mean, do you like put
They're black and
wattles
white.
oh, you can't have a red wattle and stuff. You know, those things that hang down, they're called wattles.
That would be fun, but no.
Okay.
You're messing with town tradition here, Barbara.
I told you it's fun to have little,
Join the Lions Club and change it.
no,
All right, so that was a very nice public forum. Does
It's also
somebody?
extremely useful to know about this continuing the meeting.
It is.
yes.
Wow.
It is, but someone needs to make that motion.
I make a motion to suspend our meeting tonight until such time as we can meet in person on Monday, October, what's the date? 20th?
20th, I think.
20th at 6:30 p.m. in the town hall.
I'll second that.
All right.
We need a
Dan,
room. We need a room. Which room would it be? We need an exact room.
well, the
Our
finance.
traditional finance committee.
No, let's
All right.
let's use the one across the hall because that has a Zoom set up in there and a big screen.
Can you tell me what room that
Okay.
is, please?
I think it's room 2.
So there is no Zoom link for the people who want to do this from home. They'll have to
Correct.
phone in, is what you're saying.
As I
Full meeting would
understand,
be in
we
person.
can, as I understand, we can have a Zoom link as long as the majority are in person.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So Dan,
right.
did
Yep.
did the motion and the second pass muster?
The motion was to suspend this meeting and reconvene Monday, 6:30 in person at Town Hall in whatever room you suggested or I'm sorry, mentioned. That's fine. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Then all in favor? Dana,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Tim,
I
Barbara,
I,
Josie,
Aye.
Melanie,
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
My goodness, Alex, you hung with us. Excellent. Um, then I think a motion to adjourn is in order.
No, we can't because we just
We're-
suspended.
No,
Oh,
we're
that's
not
right. Never
adjourning.
mind.
No,
Yeah,
we're
I'm
suspending.
sorry. You're absolutely right.
Oh, you're gonna get me fired. Allison's gonna fire me. No.
No, you're right.
Suspension,
You're right.
not
You're right.
adjournment.
Suspended. There is no motion to adjourn. Thank you.
But it is
Right.
time to say goodnight.
But it is time to say goodnight.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good night.
All
Good
right.
night.
All right.
Good night, all. Thank
All
you.
right. I'll see you
Bye.
Monday.
yeah, see you
Bye.
Monday.
Good work.
Yeah.
Good work. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.